everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Self-Improvement Project. I hope everybody is well. Hope you've all had a nice week and you've been enjoying implementing some self-improvement in your life, whether it be small or quite vast this week. As these episodes seem to be starting with now, I just want to say thank you to anybody that has messaged me recently with suggestions, that have reached out in email, that have signed up to the email that I've got, that have downloaded the ebook. I feel like there's a lot of things culminating, and I want to say thanks to everyone for getting involved, for taking it in, and most importantly, taking a step back and implementing it and becoming more aware of how this kind of self-improvement can really improve your life. So thank you for doing that, and I mean, well done. It's always the best part about all this stuff that I do is when I hear from people, it's messages of, I've tried this and it worked, or I feel better after doing this, for example. So thank you if you have reached out, and keep doing it. Keep implementing those things. Let me know what works. Let me know what doesn't work. And yeah, I look forward to it. This week's episode is called Just Do It. Obviously inspired by the famous Nike slogan, but also quite a impactful message when it comes to our comfort zone. Comfort zones are a societal belief. They have been instilled into us, programmed into us by the world that we are consumed by. And don't get me wrong, comfort zones can hold us back. But what about when you just don't feel like pushing yourself out your comfort zone, or when you've been doing it so much lately that your body and your mind needs to actually recover? Or maybe you're just genuinely scared by the thought of pushing yourself out your comfort zone. Maybe it's been a while. And ultimately, it's all about self-preservation, our identity, how others perceive us. And our instinct, because of society, is just not to do it, to avoid it, sometimes at all costs. But why? What is the real reason for us avoiding it? What do we truly gain by avoiding situations that make us learn? We save face. And as you know, if you've listened to any of the episodes I've done before, is that face doesn't represent value. To roll back a few years when I first got into teaching / lecturing in front of groups of people, a quote that I came across and stuck with me was, "He who asks is a fool for 30 seconds. But he who never asks is a fool forever." Think back to school. Think back to school when you were sitting in the classroom and the teacher would ask the entire class a question. And there's that moment of dread when you think, who's going to answer it? Who's going to save the rest of the class? And then the second wave of dread when nobody does it. And the teacher might pick on someone to answer. And it's always you. But most of the time it's fine, but there are those moments that we'll be able to recall on where you say an answer and it's not right, but it's not ridiculous. But because you didn't get it right, everyone laughs at you. And I always thought that was such an important aspect of, as a teacher, as a leader within that environment, to make sure that that environment was safe for people to do that. But 9 times out of 10, the teacher in those situations that you're recalling won't have made you feel safe. You will have been laughed at, and then you never want to do it again. You never want to put yourself in that situation where you might come across as a failure, as stupid, as a laughingstock. But that moment that you're recalling right now, your experience from school, I could go and ask anyone that you went to school with about that moment, and no one would remember it. So that time you avoided something as you were scared of how you would look. But for that example, for those previous examples, for the future, have you ever considered being scared of never knowing who you could be or become? By avoiding these situations, you will never know who you could become. It seems daft, doesn't it? And that's why this "just do it" slogan has stuck for so long with people. Obviously, they're a huge brand around the globe, but it works. It's like a mantra, it's like a motto, a simple slogan that if you just tell yourself to just do it, everything else will be fine. You will be better regardless of the outcome. It overrides that flight mode and can be the catalyst for achieving beyond your expectations. What is it right now that you are holding back from? How is this negatively impacting on your life? When I tend to sit on things and hold back, it actually makes me more anxious and more worried than just doing it in the first place. I'm building it up to this big event that matters to nobody else in the world apart from me. As you are maybe having a moment of inspiration with this, I don't want you to worry about the has-beens and the could-haves. They're gone. But you definitely have a moment right now to put a line in the sand and understand this. You will always be better for it, regardless of the outcome. And you might just inspire someone else who sees you along the way. And that's us. That's us this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you haven't already listened to some of the other episodes, maybe go try some of those. If you haven't signed up to my email every Sunday, intended to be enjoyed with a warm cup of coffee, please sign up, and hopefully I can provide you with some calming, inspiring thoughts first thing on a Sunday morning. Or even if you want my ebook to dig into for free, you can do so by clicking on one of the numerous links that I've popped in the show notes or just on my profile. So thanks very much for listening. I hope you have a great week, and I will see you all next time. Cheers.